feel like music is a gift and it's a language, and I don't want to keep that language and my gift to myself.
I am joined on the UK Drum Show official podcast by Naomi Forbes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
How are you?
Good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm delicious. We'll go with delicious.
Love that, love that.
Naomi, I think it's fair to say that to most people, you're known for being the drummer for Paloma Faith, Leigh-Anne, who was in Little Mix, Cat
Mhm,
Burns, and so many more.
mhm.
You're a multi-instrumentalist. You've been playing the drums since you were just 5 years old, and by 16, you'd already conquered iconic venues such as the Royal Albert Hall, which is incredibly impressive. You are going to be playing the main stage of the UK Drum Show at 11:15 on Saturday, the 18th of October.
Yes.
Um, Firstly, Paloma Faith, Leigh-Anne from Little Mix, Cat Burns, how do you get these gigs?
Do you know what? I feel like networking and social media is a huge part of how
Okay.
I've kind of come up in my career. It's just making sure you're super consistent in posting and keeping up that social media presence.
Hmm.
Because if people see you regularly posting, you're always going to be in the back of their mind. Whenever they need a drummer, they're always going to be like, "Oh, who's that person who's always posting on Instagram or posting on TikTok or YouTube, this, that, and the fourth." So it's just about just staying current and staying present, really. And just building good connections outside of social media.
So would you say social media is the thing? I mean, obviously, I've seen your drumming. You are a drummer that is on a stratospheric level. You're absolutely
Thank
amazing.
you so
Um,
much.
but you're welcome. Call it £10. But but you're really saying that social media has played an enormous part in your success career wise.
Yes, yes, I am. I am. I think as well as social media, before I was really consistent on it, I was, like I was saying before, making those networking connections, like coming out of uni, going to gigs and just knowing certain MDs and just, having conversations and just letting people know that I am actually a human, not just a robot who posts on the gram. Uh, yeah, no, my siblings really and my parents really made sure that I was keeping up that kind of musical presence
Okay.
with other people as well.
Do you find it like a full-time job posting on like Instagram and stuff? Is that
Oh my gosh,
like a
100%.
so
100.
how how do you keep on top of you're gigging full time? You're in America at the moment. How do you keep on top of that?
I think before I head out on the road, I try to get a lot of content recorded in the UK in the studio. But then once I'm on the road, I also try to get some content, like sound check videos or the footage from the shows or just behind the scenes stuff. And just keeping up that presence really.
Okay. You're in a position where not only have you played for some huge artists and some legendary venues all around the world, you're in a
Thank you.
position now where you're getting phone calls from the UK Drum Show, which is arguably, alongside the Europe Drum Show, which is arguably the biggest drum show in the world. How does it
Yes.
feel for you to get that call to say, Naomi, this is how recognized you are in the drumming community? This is the caliber of drummer you're going to be sharing a stage with. Will you come and perform? How does that feel for you?
You know what? It was mind blowing. I was like, it's such a blessing, man. I was so grateful. Like, it's overwhelming as well, though. When I got the call from Martin, I was kind of like, whoa, me! Like, you want to have me on board? This is an amazing opportunity. So I feel like I'm just filled with, just gratitude and nerves as well because it is super
Right.
overwhelming. But
Right.
yeah, just overall, just good vibes, man. Just happy, excited.
So, have you done many? I mean, I know that obviously I've seen your YouTube and stuff. I know that you're a very busy drummer, but would you say that this is the biggest kind of drum clinic and drum exhibition that you've done so far?
Yeah,
And if that's the case, how? how do you deal with those nerves? Because nerves is something that, although drummers come across as like natural extroverts a lot of the time and very much the party of the band, I don't think there's anything more overwhelming to a drummer than a stage full of other, drummers.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
so do you feel nervous about it? And if so, how do you tackle that?
Do you know what? I think it's all about preparation. Like my dad has always said to me, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So you just
I
you
love
I don't know, you just have to be practicing, you just have to stay on top of the game. You can't just assume that you're gonna sound great when it gets to it because greatness comes from practice. And
yes.
you get me? So it's just staying on top of my craft and trying to be the best drummer that I can be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, as we know, you've been playing all around the world, and you're still very young at the moment. You've got your career ahead of you. Even though you are living your dream at the moment, what is the Naomi Forbes legacy? How do you want to be remembered in 100 years from now?
Wow, that's a great question. And I really
Thank you.
think that to myself all the time.
Do you
It's a
really?
great question. Yeah, yeah. I feel like music is a gift and it's a language. And I don't want to keep that language and my gift to myself. I want to be the person who kind of like shared that with the world. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a real honor and it's a privilege, really and truly. So I don't want to keep that to myself. I don't know, man. I just want to spread positivity, good vibes through music. Just let that be my tool, my instrument.
Really think you do that? Like even like seeing your videos and stuff online, you can just like I feel like I knew what sort of person you were going to be just through watching your drumming videos and like watching you play and stuff. We've spoken about the fact that you're going to be sharing the stage with some obviously icons in the drumming world. What to you is so special about the drumming community?
What is so special about the drumming community? Did you say?
Yeah.
I feel like first and foremost, drums is the best instrument. I just have to throw that
Yes.
out there. And when you're surrounded by people who feel that way also and share the same love for music and drums, it's just a beautiful environment to be around. And it
Hmm.
just feels so welcoming and just so like just freeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
lovely.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. What is for you the hardest hurdle that you have had to climb as a musician? That could be, for example, something that maybe happened in your personal life that impacted your playing at a gig. It could be something, where you were playing something and then that somehow impacted you from outside of behind the kit. What has been something that you have found yourself, a hurdle that you found yourself climbing over, but once you've got over it, it's helped you so much?
I really think one of the biggest hurdles I had to face was going deaf in my left ear temporarily. And I wasn't sure if I'd ever get my hearing back in my left ear. Yeah.
Oh
And I
no,
was
what happened?
hospitalized and everything. I was working a job. I dare not say it, but people who know
No,
me know I hated the job. And it was
right.
a lot of hours outside. And they would just push and push and push. And I was getting ill and I could feel that I was getting ill. And it got
Oh
to a
no.
point where it was like, I need to stop now. Because my ear was in so much pain. And then I went to the hospital, started bleeding, this, that, and the third. And they were like, yeah, your eardrum is finished. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was crazy. That they said like all the fluid had built up and the pressure in the
Oh,
eardrum just like exploded. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was like, I was written off, couldn't couldn't take in light because your ears are like your balance.
oh
And yeah,
no.
it was ridiculous. I was really
So,
fearful. I was like, what's gonna happen?
so you can hear again now, though.
Thank God, yeah, I can hear again now.
Okay. Okay. I
But
mean,
yeah,
as a musician, that's one of the hardest
yeah,
hurdles to come over.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
that must have been terrifying.
It was so scary, man. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I'd ever like hear again in that ear
Were you?
and be the
It
same.
probably sounds like a stupid question, but were you still able to drum during that time? And if so, did it? Was there anything new that you learnt about drumming through having to only hear through one ear?
You know what? I just I did stop drumming for a little bit because I didn't want to put in ears in my ears and stuff. And then having
Yeah, of
the
course.
cans on, it just felt like I was unbalanced. So I kind of gave it a break. But when I got back to it, I was like, it just revealed my love for drumming even more. if
That's
I'm
cool.
honest with you. Yeah, it
That's
was
cool.
amazing.
So you have been drumming since you were 5. You've played all over the world, including the Royal Albert Hall. You're a multi-instrumentalist. You're playing for some huge names at the moment. You've been deaf in one ear. You have overcome a lot, Naomi Forbes. What would your advice be to an aspiring drummer watching this, listening to this, and thinking, I want to do not the going deaf part, obviously, but I want to do what she's doing. I want to get out there. How would somebody do it in the way you've mentioned social media, you've mentioned the importance of networking, two things that I think are really important. But what else would you add to that list?
I think something that is extremely important is not comparing yourself to any other drummer
Mm.
because that can be so discouraging and disheartening.
Hmm.
But it is very important to take inspiration from other drummers, but not try to be just like them. You have to find your own passion, you have to find your own sound, and just
Okay.
love it because you love it.
Yes. Yes.
Love it
So
because you
so which three drummers then do you think make up Naomi Forbes? Which who's
Ooh,
your three biggest inspirations that you feel through your blood every time you pick up the sticks?
Calvin Rogers,
Okay.
incredible. I listened to him growing up. This is tough because there's so many, and I feel like if I leave someone out, it's gonna be like, ugh.
I'm
Calvin Rogers
interested.
for
Yeah.
sure. Tones, Nathaniel Fuller. I listened to him growing up as well in church,
Mhm.
my cousin. Um, and I'd say Ginger, Johnny Storm.
Okay.
Yeah, those tones and Ginger are kind of like in church. I always would watch them non-stop playing drums. I'd be like, you guys are incredible. And Calvin
Okay.
Rogers, he was on like every single gospel record I can think of growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really, really interesting. That's and that definitely. I don't know what I was expecting you to say, but yeah, I get it. I get it. Um, what are you going to be bringing to the UK Drum Show this year that no other drummer will be doing? What is the Naomi Forbes experience going to be, and why are people going to walk away going, bloody hell, that was absolutely mind-bendingly
Ooh,
fabulous?
that's a great question. Wow, you hit me with these crazy questions today, man.
Because it's my job, Naomi.
But you're good at your job, mate.
Thank you. And you're good at yours.
Appreciate you. Do you know what? Most of all, I want people to to feel something they didn't feel when they first walked in
Nice.
to the show. I want them to walk away, even if they're not drummers, believing that they are drummers and they can be drummers and they can be anything they want to be.
Do you think it matters if people can sight read on drums, or do you think it's a reflex instrument?
Ooh, do you know what? I think it holds great importance being able to sight read and read,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's the be all and end all because you could be phenomenal at picking things up by ear and then learn
Hmm.
to read later on down the line.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Naomi, I after this cannot wait to see what you bring to the table. The ACC Liverpool on the 18th of October. You're going to be playing at 11:15 a.m. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Thank you for
Thank you.
taking the time. You hang up. No, you hang up.
Stop it.
Stop
Stop
it. Come
it.
on. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your extraordinarily busy schedule to be with me today. And
Anytime.
we will see you very, very soon.
I look forward to it. Have a lovely day.